Hi guys, we're back with a fourth instalment of our Knowledge Share series, here to discuss return to office, the post-COVID world of work, and how our industry partners have been helping their clients over the past couple of months. For this session today, we're joined by Gavin Power, Director of NOVO, Building Services and M&E Experts. We've got John Park, Partner at Appleyard and Trew and PM and QS Specialist. We have Alan Kitching, owner of AK Developments and CESBI Developments Commercial Landlord. And of course, myself, Mark Kitching, and our company founder, Victoria Stairs, representing Vic Limited. So I guess a slightly more technical conversation to be had today compared to our last discussion around furniture, but still just as impactful on our topics of return to work and the future workplace. Within our previous sessions, we found the best place to start is by asking, how have you all been operating over lockdown? How have you found your successes and challenges? And how have you been supporting your clients or tenants over the past couple of months, especially around COVID and the workplace? So I guess, who would like to take the floor first?
Maybe I can touch off. After you, John, sorry.
I think from our point of view, Mark, it's been fascinating how quickly COVID came into play and how we managed to get everybody working at home, how quickly people were connected, how comfortable they were with working at home and the connectivity. You know, over 4 sites, we got people up and working at home within a week. So I think we adapt very quickly as an industry and as people, we adapt very much with that.
Years of us consultants telling people that it was possible and it's beneficial, and everyone been digging their heels in for a long period of time, and then when it becomes enforced and everybody has to, it becomes a quick snap change and everybody just puts their head down and does the best to succeed and carry on. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
John, yeah, I think we've had similar experiences. Obviously, from our perspective, it was kind of a double impact really, because we were given notice in our offices prior to COVID kicking in. So our notice period ended on the 5th of June. So in the middle of March, we sent all the staff home to work, of which we managed to deploy all the IT. And we actually implemented a cloud-based IT system because we were traditional server-based in the office. And obviously going to a cloud-based system has also given us the facility and flexibility to fully work, you know, from remote. So our unique position is a bit different in terms of 5th of June, we thought we were going to be able to get more of an extension on the office, but the landlord couldn't get an extension on their offices in Leeds. So everything went into storage on the 5th of June, and we've been totally remote and currently without office space from then. So I'm in the process at the moment of looking at other office spaces, which is interesting because we've done a survey internally, which I can touch on as well in terms of the feedback from that.
You do want office space then, Gav? You're not looking for a full remote, flexible approach?
Well, I think initially, everyone's worked well from home. You know, we've obviously invested in the technology side of things, you know, from a digital perspective, so that's working really, really well. But I think the reality is, and it came out in the survey we did, I think it's important to have a base. You know, I think just from that work-life balance, it's important to be able to break away. You know, whether that is a few days a week into the office or a couple of days. The survey we carried out, which our interesting into the results. I've got the percentages here. There's 17 staff, just for an example, but 60% of the staff have come back saying they prefer to work from home sometimes on an occasional basis. So that just gave you a feel as to they like working from home, yeah, and they've enjoyed that. But it's important, I think, to have that base.
And it's quite different, isn't it, in Yorkshire, where we're all living from. But myself being in London, the general practice in London is that many companies and their employment and their staff do work from home, and they do have flexible ways of working. Whereas I know, speaking from many regional companies, that it's just not the norm, and it's sort of, there's still that norm, that sort of mental barrier to break in terms of flexibility. So that's quite interesting that you're starting to look for probably a smaller office space that just allows a hub to pull back.
Exactly. We know for a fact in terms of efficiency, we're not going to require the same size of space we had. And with it being more flexible, agile working, then I don't know, it can reduce in size and scale really. So, and then we've also done
any space modelling. You know who to come to. We can help you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I was pretty surprised, to be fair. I think I've had a chat with Alan previously about where we'd go from an office location, and we thought the preference was on the outskirts of Leeds, but the survey responses have come back saying 75% would prefer city centre location versus outskirts. So that's really changed what I actually thought the staff preferred.
Just because of transport links?
Probably.
I can only assume that, yeah, in terms of the commute side. But then the negative side of it's always been, well, the parking restrictions and everything else with the city centre. But it's interesting to know that. I mean, you know, I'd happily work in the city centre, but I didn't think we'd get that type of response. I thought it would have been outskirts still. So maybe we're going to have to change our dynamic in terms of office location.
It's been quite interesting about the return to work as well, sort of, because we've got the 4 offices, and London's definitely been treated differently to the other offices. We're tending to find a migration back into the workplace and all the steps that we've needed to do for that. But London as a location, we're just not looking to put people back into the offices yet.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of transport sort of.
It is definitely mainly
like,
the transport issue.
Yeah, like I keep saying to Mark on our calls, like London is there. Like it's definitely increasing. We're definitely seeing like a higher percentage over the last couple of weeks, but we don't drive our cars in London because it's easier to get on the train, and obviously the trains are quite limited and restrictive. So yeah, you have taken that approach because it's completely in line with everything else we're hearing.